Hi, Dave Smith with Officer.com, and today I want to talk about edged weapons. And what I really want to do is get you thinking laterally about the kinds of threats we face on the street and in our own offices. Edged weapons are often very popular among criminals because they can be made out of substances that they can pass through magnetometers very easily that aren't normally recognized. In fact, a lot of times we'd be dealing with somebody and they're wearing a visible weapon and we're ignoring it because it's a tool. And how many times have you been talking to a carpenter, you've been talking to somebody in a shop and they're wearing many, many weapons? How many times are you on the side of a roadway talking to somebody and you suddenly realize they have a big buck knife in a folding sheath right there on their belt? So one of the things, a good officer always attends to the visible weapons and asks themselves, what weapons are here? What does he have? And of course we all remember their fists alone are weapons. That's why we always maintain a proper position and distance on subjects. Now one of the things is when Buck says watch the hands, he's right, because we want to pay attention. Edged weapons can be hidden in hands. So can guns, so can all kinds of weapons, as we say, but edged weapons especially, because we know they're common and they're popular among gangs, for instance, and in prisons and jail settings, and they can, again, they can be made out of so much, and that's why we want to pay attention. We're in an arrest situation. We don't, when people put up their hands, we want to make sure, we see the palms of their hands and spread their fingers, because edged weapons have been known to be hidden, like razor blades and other weapons, between the fingers of an individual. And a lot of times, remember, an edged weapons assault against an officer, the lethality isn't the stab or the slashing, which are the two techniques that an edged weapon can hurt us, but maybe to disarm you or to get away. So we've got to have our mindset and be prepared. And if you ever are cut, never give up. Fight, fight, fight. Now, one of the things to think about is a lot of times, if you say, for instance, your investigations, or maybe you're booking a drunk, you bring somebody in, you set them at a desk. You're going to do an interview or you're filling out paperwork, and we tend to think about things, we take them for granted, simple little things that often have sharp edges. In fact, a lot of times we're handing somebody an edged weapon right there. That's single strand. I have interviewed people who have been victims of single strands with horrific scars and injuries when they were struck by this. So this is the kind of thing to be aware of, that this is an edged weapon. In fact, this is, again, one of the things that we talk about in training is that I'm going to be prepared. I control my equipment and make sure we control our cuffs. Another thing that we can find oftentimes that we take for granted, we all can see that this is an edged weapon, but is this an edged weapon? Yes, it is. And I can tell you nightmare stories of officers stabbed and injured by ballpoint pens or pencils that are left on their table, on their desk. In fact, at the end of getting a confession, do you hand a pen over to somebody to sign the statement? Now, some of these pens, I tell you what, a good cross pen is a heck of an edged weapon. So think about it for a stabbing instrument. So these are the kind of things. Part of the key of edged weapon safety is simply awareness. Be aware of it. The second thing is get training in how to deal with an edged weapons attack. A spontaneous edged weapons attack can be stymied. But again, if you're talking to an instructor and they're saying, well, we're going to keep you from getting cut, that's not what a good instructor is going to tell you. What a good instructor is going to tell you is all right, first off, it's okay to get cut. It's not okay to give up. When you get cut, when you get stabbed, when you get slashed, that just means you're going to fight all that much harder. You're going to do the techniques, go out and find a good spontaneous knife trainer, learn how to do a defense tactic and get your mind right. Visualize getting cut and winning, winning, winning. Never give up. That's the rule of an edged weapons attack against you. You never give up. You fight and you fight and you fight. Remember, a tremendous survivability rate, but not if you give up. So be aware of edged weapons, pay attention to the kinds that are available, and remember, every time you bring out your cuffs, you're bringing out an edged weapon. So keep your head in the game all the time. I'm Dave Smith. Stay safe, and I'll see you again.